start the way we start. Until the lions have their own historians, the tales of hunting would always glorify the hunter. And you know I'll say that again. Folks, I said until the lions have their own historians, the tales of hunting would always glorify the hunter. Hello and welcome to the most opinionated hour on radio and the nation's thought-provoking hour. I am Nana Ansah Kwao IV, Chief of the very little Republic of Akwamu Edumasa, who are not separating ourselves from Ghana. The Republic within the Republic. Your favorite talk show host, and as conferred on me, the Professor of National Development. Now, before I welcome you, today more than ever, you have to do as required. Drop all political labels. All your political labels. Now, once you've done that, now I can welcome you to the beautiful ritual I call That's My Opinion. Every Monday right here on the Superstation, Joy 99.7 FM at the same time. Make it a date and join us. Folks, today our topic is policy revolution. Policy revolution. Now in Ghana, the word revolution means guns blazing, constitution suspended, and hell breaking loose. So even though as a country we are overdue a series of revolutions, we dare not even think about it. However, today I am proposing a policy revolution. But before I go, let me quickly issue a disclaimer that this is probably an airtime wasting show. Yep. Not that the issue doesn't make sense, but just like Obadusai said, we have heard it all. We heard all you're saying. It adds up, it makes sense, but we won't take it. But on a lighter note, let me just share a story. We take an analogy from that story. Folks, Super Odi in one of the episodes of Osofudazi. Now, I was playing a quack daughter in the village somewhere, prescribing and giving dangerous medicines and injecting innocent patients who started dropping dead and falling ill in the village. Now, through the investigation, it came to light that all those falling ill and dying had visited Odi, the doctor. Now, he got wind the police were closing in, so, as he was packing and getting ready to run away from there, a lady walked into the consulting room. And so, can I help you? And the lady says, Doctor, I came for an injection last week, and my bum cheek hurts. He chuckled. Says, Rabbi, why are you lucky? Me Bobby maybe woo. Rabbi, why are you lucky? Me Bobby maybe woo. To the auto, Fanasa. I mean, for those who don't speak G, the patient just comes and says, look, I got an injection in my bum cheek. Says, you are very lucky. Some have died. Some of the people I injected have died. So if your bum cheek is just, that's what is hurting, you are lucky, because at the moment, he has to run. Namibwa, folks, that's the situation of Ghana. We are like the last patient with a sore bum. She's lucky because, others have died. So there are countries who would wish to be in our situation, folks. But it doesn't mean that we should not heal our sore bum. So we are not the worst country. So it's not that we are complaining because we are the last. But no. Even though we are lucky to be in this situation, we must heal our sore bum. Folks, again, the year is 2020. If you check your calendar, much as doctors or sometimes even more. Folks, they have zero road deaths. Zero. From January to December, nobody dies on the road. Zero teenage pregnancy. Can you imagine? Zero teenage pregnancy. Now, folks, that's progress. By all accounts, I don't know what the yardstick is, but, it is progress. Now, I know there are the UN ratios that we all have to work to achieve, even though I have my own reservations when it comes to Africa and Ghana. However, they are there to at least achieve. As any sane person, there are certain things which you can see are not acceptable, and certain things too which, if you ask for, you may be asking for too much. Let's say I came on air demanding a train station or subway underground under Kanishi Market. Yeah, as I said, Kanishi Market underground was here so that you take a train and get under the Kanishi Market and come up. Folks, it would be too far-fetched. But have the population pooling outside in the open too, it's not acceptable. So, there are these two extremes where we know that there's something that we should do. But let me thank you for paying attention, because if I said the topic is policy revolution, then what am I doing going on and on about? But please, if I don't build my case well, the policy revolution will be meaningless. So I will come to it. Folks, in all honesty, I may be wrong. But apart from polling stations and being, accessible and the voting, I don't know if there's any constitutional right where citizens have equity like that. When we come to the phones, maybe you can challenge me. Are the rights enshrined in the Constitution for us, apart from voting and polling stations and ballot papers, is there any other right where we have that much access, whether we like it or not? They will bus you to go and do it without the usual statement that we hear, due to financial constraints. It's true, when it comes to voting, we never hear he will come, slow down, go over the ramp. The police in the area will come, slow down, go over the league, or just go free. It is dangerous for a developing country. Now, this is where the policy revolution comes in. Folks, if we were to say, let's get the soldiers out again, maybe I won't even finish the show before I get lynched. However, something drastic needs to be done for good change to come. So for us to turn our fortunes around, we must do something different. We can't be business as usual. So what will be the alternative to the guns? What will be the alternative to the gun type of revolution? And I'm suggesting a policy revolution. Folks, policies should direct human capital to the advantage of the country. Policies should direct human capital to the advantage of the country. We can't jail everyone or shoot everyone, but we can put clauses and incentives to direct people to the areas where we need them most. So, folks, instead of a policy that every teacher's allowance, teacher should get an allowance, the policy revolution would say something like, if you want an allowance, you want to be a teacher, you have to teach science, teach French, ICT, TVET, my favorite topic, TVET. If you're going to go into these areas where there's a shortage of teachers, then you get an allowance. And after you pass, if you choose to go to areas that are not popular, then we even double the allowance for you. So it's like when you go into school, you can't be in Dansuma, go to a training school in Dansuma, come back to teach in Dansuma and say, court demonstration for allowance. Allowance to do what? And you've chosen maybe general science where they are, general arts, and there are like thousands of teachers, just lying around waiting to teach. So the Ministry of Education can tell us that, listen, we are short of French teachers, we are short of that teachers. Then the policy will say, good. Anybody who's going to choose or teach this subject, and those who are going to even go further outside of the cities to help the rural community, hey, we are tripling your allowance. So that instead of giving, let's say, 1 million, one city to 1 million teachers, no, those who are going to stay in the capital and the luxury, munya, muna mubinya. That's the policy revolution. And so it directs people to where we want them. Folks, look at the floods. One time, I think on 3 occasions where I just literally copied what I did on floods, just changed the dates, and you'd be amazed that even though president had changed and everything, the statements and everything was so similar. The floods came, the helicopter came and hovered around, the V8s came, and then the first statement was, we are commiserating with those who have gone through this disaster. I think it's a template in the office. You just pick it up, bring, and then come and read it. And so that's all I also did. I just copied and pasted the previous years, and I think it was rain, come again. That's what we called it, rain, come again, and it just worked. But look at, folks, we are having buildings in wrong places. What if we just go and break the structures and go away? Then the guy giving the permits will just give the permit to the next unsuspecting victim. However, if the policy is to prosecute and sack the planning officer, that's if he gave the orders or if he looked on for this thing to happen, sack him. Folks, there are millions of people looking for jobs. There's a long queue of people begging for jobs. So the irony where there are also people who are not working, it means how we are able to balance it. There are people who are finished school and are desperate for jobs, and there are people too there giving permits to block waterways and flooders, and we still keep them in jobs. Sack them. If you give the permit, sack them. If you didn't give the permit but did not do anything about it, sack him. If he can prove that, look, I reported to the police, sack the police. We have to sack. If you don't sack from the top, so we have a policy revolution which will be sacking from the top, not just going to break the store and go away. You haven't done anything. I'll just give another permit for somebody to build. Folks, if you monitor the campaign, this campaign, right? There's this wave or this undertone of who is giving the more freebies. Who is not going to hustle us? Free kakra. That's the undertone. So I'll give you this free, and I'll extend that free, and I'll give you this free, and I'll give you that free. And so there's a competition of freeness, and the voter is just sitting there thinking, okay, hold on, should I vote for A or should I vote for B? Where do I get more free? Oh, I'll pay you this, and I'll pay you that. I'll pay you that extra. And the voter is sitting back thinking, yes. Folks, nations are not built on free. It will come back and it will bite us. The issue of population growth, I've said this a million times and I'll never stop saying it. It is not manageable. 2.2 to 2.5 growth is too fast. Way too fast. We should be doing 1.5, 1.2 growth. This is not manageable. Now, you can't stop people from giving birth. As somebody said, Nana, what are you going to do? Going to stand on their doors and stop them from having sex? No. But why do you think people are selling off their babies and Kojo Yankson is busy, trying to rescue them? Poor woman has 5, 6, 7 children, has no food. What's he going to do? Sit there and die with the children? What's the woman got to do? How many women have only a child or 2 children and sell them off? Very rare. I haven't done the research, but it's very rare. But when the numbers increase and the woman is destitute, not that they don't love the children. The only love they can show the children is to give the child to somebody who will feed the child. And this person, too, being a typical inconsiderate Ghanaian, put them through misery. So the policy revolution is to make family planning accessible and free to that woman. Because believe you me, if you went to ask that woman, do you need 7 children? She'll tell you, no, I need 3 or 4. I'll be fine with 3 or 4. But she can't buy a condom, she can't buy a coil, she hasn't got the 2 cities to go and do that consultancy. Onibi. But yet still the children that the woman brings is a major problem for the nation. So make family planning accessible to that woman. That's policy revolution, to direct, to slow down things. You see, and then also those who are not necessarily destitute but just taking advantage of the free, you tell them that, listen, after your 3rd or your 4th child, you're on your own. You pay for your maternity, you pay for school, you pay for, and yet the state can't pay anymore. It's done everywhere, even in multi-trillion-dollar countries. They tell you, after your 3rd child, you are on your own. The state cannot sit there and say, no, be responsible. Your first 3, I'll take them to school, I'll take them to hospital, I'll do whatever I can do. But say, no problem, you can give birth to 12, but you look after them. You don't come and burden any taxpayer. You see, you have to make these revolutionary policies to get people to be responsible. So you buy your school uniform. Okay, maybe you have a school feed in the year because you have or buy money, but you buy your school uniform and you buy everything and you pay the school fees. You see, because we can't have a problem where you have very limited, being interviewed by my dad, and I said, look, Dad, KSM, it's like you have a crate of mineral. It's got 24 bottles in it. And you're doing a party and it says open to all. Open to all, saying you only have 24 crates. So if you invite 48 people, 2 will share a bottle. If they go up to 94, will share a bottle. So you then decide that, listen, slow down. I can only invite maybe 20 people. Everybody have a bottle and I even have 4 to spare. And that's the practicality. We have a very limited budget. Very limited budget supported by other people, and the people who are supporting you are not littering their country. Oh, I met Kafui Day. This guy who does his gardening. I think he's old. Kafui has 2 kids or 1 kid, right? This guy who's doing the gardening is on like number 6 or number 7. So Kafui says he was there one day and the guy comes and says, oh, as for this one day, I named him after you. What have you done? So your school fees, everything, because I named her after you, it's your problem. No, it's not my problem. It's not my problem. So that's the issue, folks. Unless we're going to bring Jesus, who's going to, 2 loaves and 5 fishes, feed 5,000. Unless we have that magic wand, we must slow down. So you use policies, folks, to incentivize, to threaten, to punish. That, listen, after this point, you're on your own. Folks, look at, this is going to be very radical, right? Very, very radical. Look at the media. Look at the media. Everybody gets a radio station, and not Joy FM, but some of the radio stations, Jesus Christ, you wonder who let these people on the air, but they are on the air. But I'm saying, as a nation, look at how desperate we are to change our mindset and bring people from negative thoughts and all these religious shenanigans and hooligans, everything. So you need to reach everybody. We have the NCC who have 3 cars to drive around, the whole Ghana. Impossible. So I said, okay, so who's going to be my first caller?
Hello, Nana. This is Jackson Abusa, the Summer Lanston.
Let me hear you.
Yeah, Nana, thank you very much. I agree with you. But Nana, please, let me ask you this question. Do you think our leaders are thinking like the way you are thinking, what you are talking about? Because we are living in a country, like the way you say, our population is growing more than what we have. But it looks like nobody cares. Nana, if you could remember, last year on Kitapo Road, a day, it's not a day, sir, let's say a minute, about 50 or 80 something people die on that road.
Mm-hmm.
We all come on radio and make noise. People come on radio, speak big English, which some of us, we can't even understand. But still, that place, those things are happening. This year, accident happened on Taklore Kumase Road. About 34 people died. We hear the road minister, a lot of people, regional ministers speaking big English, but still, the road is there. Nothing has done. I hope, if God forbid, next year we'll be hearing all those things. About the flooding, last year, the same thing happened in this Accra. We talk, we listen to this big English, unless we go to dictionary before you can find the meaning. This year, we are saying the same thing. But Nana, sometimes I blame the media people. I started listening to Joy FM, that was 1998. Now, it looks like Joy FM is not asking the question they asked at those times. Joy FM have to come back again. I beg Joy FM. I know what Joy FM can do.
Thank you very much. Joy FM is in trouble. Hey, Joy FM is in trouble. 0302216541. Hello, who's talking to me?
Yeah, this is Kofi calling from Adenta.
Kofi, let me hear you.
Well, very laudable ideas that you have, but it's not going to see the light of day.
Well,
I mean, at least
I issued a disclaimer that it's a time-wasting show.
No, not in your lifetime. I mean, it's not going to happen. You can keep speaking. I mean, the analogy you gave about the DCs, they are there to serve their party. They are not going to have any appraisal forms to fill. I mean, it makes sense what you are saying, that they should fill an appraisal form to tell us what they are doing. But they are there to serve their party. Now, leadership is always by example. You know, so even with the family planning thing that you're talking about, you are a chief. Chiefs in various communities marry more women. Some even do not have a limit. They can marry even 500 women. I mean, like in Solomon. I mean, nobody cares about it. They have so many children. So what is your view on that? Because if we don't speak about those things, people are looking up to the chiefs. You are different, right? Because you're married to the auntie, you have a daughter, you know, you are different. What about the other chiefs? So what is your view on that as well?
Thank you very much. You see, when you're doing family planning, it's not how many children the man has, but how many children the woman has. You see, that's how it is. So it's per woman, not per man. So that even if the chief was married to 4 women, each of the women should have at least 3 kids. You know, that's how population is calculated. But you know, gone are the days of Nana Ansah Kwao IV who had many children. Now chiefs they're all born again, so they're not that many children. But something is on the line. Hello, something.
Hello, Nana.
Let me hear you.
Your Royal Highness.
Yes, boss.
Nana, you said something very nice that what you are saying is true by woman. We can't build a nation with covering up. I mean, you have to bow down for a wrongdoer. You have to control a wrongdoer. A country cannot be developed. So please, President, sit up. Hey, Your Excellency, run the country like a president, right?
Thank you very much. That was Samson 0302216541, and Raphael is on the phone. Raphael.
Yes, Nana Ansah, good evening.
Good evening.
Nana, God bless you for the program you are, doing.
Thank you.
Is that our politicians, they know the solution to our problems, but they don't want to do it. You see, and that is what is bringing the problem to this nation. My problem is that, fine, we have a fair president. We are so fortunate to have Dr. Nkrumah as our first president. I've been telling my colleagues that we're even fortunate to even have Dr. Ikoma as the first president. Other than that, it would have been like Niger or Mali or whatever African state. Let's just go back to the agenda that he has implemented, that has moved the country to the factories and all over, that they've just abandoned and sold out and all that. And everything will fall in place. Let's just get rid of these manifestos and Party A, Party B manifestos, and let's rule out these 4 years term and stuff, and just renew the mandate of 8 years for straightforward and bring the agenda on board.
Thank you very much. 0302216541 Perkins is on the line. Hello, Perkins.
Okay, so what you're saying, Nana, is excellent. I think that, most people are saying that it's not possible, but I think that I come from a different angle. I think that we could get this done. Most people, don't see that, this country can become better. Most people think that there are no more, solutions that could get this country for where it is. But I think that we can do it. If you look at Singapore, what they did, it's just the same thing that you're saying. We just have to get the masses, because it's democracy, to believe in some of these solutions and to have the will. I think it can be done. I think we should not lose faith and confidence, in the ability of people to change themselves. So I think that what you're saying is great and should keep, saying all these things.
Oh, such a heartwarming comment. But Isaac is on the line. Hello, Isaac. Ike.
Oh. Yeah, hello.
Hello, Isaac. Let me hear you.
Yeah, good evening. Actually, this is my first time listening to the program, though.
Wow.
And I actually enjoyed everything.
Thank you.
I've always been telling my colleagues that this freebies is becoming too much. Our economy is not all that strong. So the free things, they become too much, and who pays for the free? It's we the citizens. So why don't we sit down and do a policy revolution, as we say? These nurses and teacher training allowances is needless. To some point, it's needless. We have to sit down, fix our economy. Then when we are good to go, then all these freebies can come in. So that's my contribution.
Thank you very much for that contribution. 0302216541. Bright is on the line. Bright.
Yeah. Nana, good evening.
Good evening.
That is why what you have raised this evening is another wonderful point for Ghana. And because of that, most of us are no longer interested in voting. Because if you look at our political leaders, they are only interested in what they will get. All their free policies, they benefit more than Ghanaians. They benefit more than Ghanaians. But we Ghanaians, we just follow them blindly. This is free of this, this is free of this. At the end, the free things, they put it under politicians who make more money than us. Even the benefit that the Ghanaians get. They go outside, they see the policy, they see things that are happening outside, but they will never come and implement it in our country. I just don't know. It's sad, the leadership, the kind of leadership we have in this country. So, if we don't stop ruling this country with manifestos and then come out with a development plan, which will tell us how best our gutters will be developed within some time period, every leader who comes or every president who comes will follow that. And we'll just wake up and then develop manifestos. What will happen is that we'll develop manifestos that will be based on what? Their feelings. Will be based on their stomach. And at the end, they will just enrich their families and their stomach. So, I don't know. But we are all inside, and let's see what will happen in Ghana. If we, the youth, will not stand up and then come against this and then rise up. It's a revolution. Yes, we all have to come up.
Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you. But Lukman is on the line. Lukman.
Hello, Nana.
Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you very much. Nana, we are being hypocritical. Let me tell you something. This is not the first time of discussing this particular program that you are talking about. Ghanaians, if any political party comes to make sure that they enforce laws, we will not vote for them.
Not all.
The population. Have you ever heard any of the political party manifesto talking about family planning? When they talk about it, we will not vote for them or we'll vote them out. Mm-hmm. Those who say they will come and make sure that we pay income tax, we will not vote for them or we'll vote them out. All those parties, when they say they are come, they will make sure that they implement all the laws and enforce it. We Ghanaians will not vote for them. Mm-hmm. And still, we want them to do magic. So we are all part of the problem. Each and every one of us are part of the problem. Mm-hmm. Those who are poor having more children and those who are rich having lesser children. And who do you blame? And you want to blame the rich? I don't think so. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much too. And I have Jifa on the line. Hello, Jifa.
Nana, my president.
Thank you.
Nana, let's form a government from Joy FM. Those who have been holding the morning show. You make one of them your vice president. Nana, my president. Just take the team who do the morning show. Make one of them your vice president. One in charge of finance. And you can run this country better than all this time we are wasting the election and all that. See the brilliant ideas you are just pouring on us this evening. Even if you share, you give it to them free, they will not take. Nana, stand, will vote for you.
Thank you very much for that compliment. Merku is on the line. Hello, Merku.
Hello, Nana.
Hi. Good evening.
Good evening, Nana.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, it's also my first time of listening to your program.
Oh dear. We've been on air for like 7 years every Monday.
Nana, the last but one caller just took my thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Last week I had a problem on the road whilst I was traveling. There was a huge crack that had broken down in the middle of the road. And just by the side, there was a gentleman who had put up some wooden structures and was selling. And because of that wooden structure, he had piled up some old ties there. And because of those ties there, we couldn't move. We were stuck in traffic for about 3 minutes. And I decided to, get down of the car and check what was happening. Lo and behold, this was what was causing the traffic. So I got out there, parked those ties, and threw them somewhere. And come and see this guy. You see? So, Nana, I don't know. The gentleman also said it is the people who have made our leaders the way, they have become. Now, the market woman selling in the middle of the road. If people decide to get them out from the street, these same people would decide to take that government out of office. So at the end of the day, the politician is also protecting his vote, his position, and then the populace is also thinking of what would interest them or what would benefit them, whether good or bad.
Thank you very much, Miriku. Thank you. Daniel is waiting on the line. Hello, Daniel.
Yeah, hello, Nana.
Daniel, let me hear your thoughts.
Good evening.
Good evening.
And to your esteemed listeners.
Great.
Yeah, Nana, I've been following you for a while. And today I just wanted to call.
I'm grateful.
I have just two submissions. The first is I endorse the policy revolution you talked about. It is just on point. However, I think that our politicians would really not let it work. Why? Because, like you said earlier, people that find themselves in places of authority, like the bigger companies, like the bigger institutions, security, talk about those who really make policies, are all politically instilled. So it's quite difficult for them to come and take their unilateral decisions. The next
So this was like 8 years ago. It's not 9. I'm sure you're bored with this story, number ending. used to host a morning show on another station. And I always sign in with this song. You know me, I'm a Lumba Bayan. Back then I called her Abiam, that was the code name. Because nobody knew I was dating Gifty Auntie then. It was all under wraps. And Dansu's appellation is Abiam. So I'll shout, this is to you, Abiam. Well, nobody knew who Abiam was. And she'd be there in the morning soaking up the song. Every morning. So after 3 years of playing this song, she finally said yes. The boy had 3 years, so the youth don't give up. The boy knew me had 3 years. She finally said yes. The knot was tied in a traditional way. And 2 years later, she was with seed, as the Bible will say. Thursday will be 5 years. See how far the Lord has brought us. So that's the meaning of this song. I hope you find your song today. And on that note, there's a massive October sale. You need to buy my wife's book. You can call her and she'll pick the phone up now. And then you wish her happy anniversary and buy a book at 054-361-8182. 054-361-8182.